Hey, how you doing? This is Brannon Jones, award-winning author of the College Readiness 101 workbook series, here with the College Readiness 101 podcast. And today I have a special guest, Miss Megan Hodge, who is starting off our students' perspective. So I'll have a series talking to students, current college students, about their college experience, about what's going on with their college preparatory process and their career outcomes. So Megan, thank you so much for being a part of today's podcast.
Thank you for having me.
All right, all right. So just for my listeners and those who are going to be watching this on YouTube, kind of tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi, my name is Megan Hodge. I'm a junior math major at Spelman College from Stockbridge, Georgia.
Perfect, perfect. And I think we had a conversation I went tomorrow, so we used to play each other. But I used to play your school in football.
Yeah,
So
Stockbridge High School.
Yes, yes. So now you are at Spelman College. It is a prestigious HBCU, well known worldwide. How did you kind of settle on Spelman College as the college for you? Like, how did that come about?
Well, Stockbridge High School, they allowed us at the school, like high school students, to take college tours all over the country. So I've been to places like California and looked at colleges there. I've been to New York and looked at colleges there. But honestly, when I went to Spelman, I was able to have an experience at Spellbound, which is a day in the life basically of a Spelman student. And I loved it. It was the college for me, and I just knew I had to go there.
Got you. So how did you? So Spellbound is kind of gave you that intro into what college life would be like, and so now that you are a Spelman student, kind of what kind of experiences do you feel that Spelman has been able to provide you as a current college student? I know you said you were a junior and you're a math major, but kind of what has your experience been like so far?
Well, so being at Spelman, of course, it's an HBCU and it's in the AUC. So I'm around amazing people of color who want to pursue higher education, and they're smart and they're funny. I get to meet people from all around the world, and they have different cultures, and I get to participate in everyone's culture pretty much as we are all learning together. And Spelman also is the number one HBCU in the world. So it has many, many opportunities that you're able to do on campus. Currently, I'm looking into studying abroad. Spelman has a lot of our students who go abroad. And so that is one experience I am hoping, let's see how COVID goes, that I
Yeah.
can participate in. Yes.
All right. So I know that was one thing. I took my cousin on a visit to Spelman, and they did talk about how they encourage all the students to study abroad as a part of their program. So that was really, really cool. So I get about that. So now that everybody knows it's well known college, as you say, the number one HBCU in the world, but it's also an all women's college, right? And so
Yes.
there are some students who may not want to go to Spelman because it is a single gender, institution. But what has your experience been with that? And do you like the all women's aspect of Spelman?
So the all women's aspect is definitely unique. There are some all women's colleges out there, but none are like Spelman. Spelman definitely instills this idea of sisterhood, and that, you can ask your Spelman sister for anything. You definitely hear stories on campus where people have been in the airport and have been spotted in, like a Spelman sweatshirt, and a Spelman sister has came up and said, yeah, I graduated in this year. Do you need some help? Where are you going? What can I do for you? Here's my contact information. You can talk to me anytime about anything. There is definitely a deep, deep sisterhood. And not only that, you shouldn't be afraid of the all women's aspect of Spelman, because like I said previously, we are in the AUC. You have Morehouse College, an all male college, and you have Clark Atlanta University, which is co-ed, and they are all right next to each other. You can walk to Clark, you can walk to Morehouse. We all share a library together. So it definitely is more than just, an all women's college. You definitely can take classes in the other institutions, and you will definitely get that co-ed experience, but you can always come back to campus and know you have that sisterhood and know that you have your girls behind you.
No, yeah, I like that because I went to Albany State University. We played Morehouse. when I was playing football, and it was really, really cool just to see, all of those colleges together. And it's almost like one big college, almost, because it's so close. So that was really cool. That was really cool. So being that the history of the AUC, and the history of what these private colleges have done for Black students in the South, coming from, you got MLK and all these other individuals who kind of went to these colleges. What is very expensive, right? Because it's private, so it's more expensive than a state school would be. So what have you done? And for anybody who may have sticker shock, right, for attending, a college in the AUC, what kind of was the process for you when you were thinking about paying for college, and how has your college funding process been? Because this is really important for a lot of families who may be looking at, private colleges.
Yeah, definitely. College in general, it's going to cost money. It's expensive. And especially if you go to, a private institution, it can be way more expensive. And not to think about out of state costs, depending on where you go. So definitely when you're looking into going to college, you need to look at the price tag, see how much college is going to cost, and not only look at what they put on, the website for tuition, but think about, you have to pay for books, you have to pay for actual living expenses when you get there. You're not just going to sit in your room the whole time. You might have to think about travel costs. So for me, my mom, she used to consult with colleges in the metro Atlanta area as a financial aid consultant. And so she knew a lot about preparing for paying for college. And so she always told me, if you can go to whatever college you want to go to, you just have to get the money to pay for it. And so in high school, I definitely focused on my academics a lot. And in Georgia, I was able to get the Zell Miller Scholarship, which at Spelman, it pays a percentage of tuition. Also, because I did well with my academics, I had an academic scholarship from Spelman, and it paid for the rest of my tuition. And so, at that point, I just had to focus on room and board. And if you just look for the scholarships, they are out there. There are many, many scholarships, no matter how big or small, you can accept all the money. And so I applied to a lot of scholarships in preparation to going to college. And I did get a few of them, and they helped me pay my way through college.
That's amazing. So right. So when I talk with parents and students about funding your college education, I always say, do the things necessary to help your parents pay for college, or you will go to a college that your parents can afford, right? So that's the concept, right? And so what you're saying is you did the work, right? You did the work.
Yeah.
You got the grades that you needed to get. You applied for the scholarships you needed to apply for, and you're continuing to do those things while you're in college, right? So you are currently keeping up a good GPA. You're currently staying active. You're currently looking for resources. And so that's the big thing that we want to make sure students and parents understand. And that's how you are kind of paying for this private school education, right?
Yeah,
So really cool.
families definitely need to read the fine print on the scholarships they get. Definitely, because scholarships might say only available for 1 year, only available for one semester, only available for 2 years. And then, of course, most of them have a GPA requirement that you have to maintain. And so you might have been maintaining, a 3.5 in high school, but the question is, can you maintain that 3.5 in college to keep this scholarship? And so, it's just focusing on what you need to do to make sure the money keeps coming in.
Yeah, that's exactly what you're doing. So to your point, you just said that you got to keep those grades up. You are a math major, right? So you
Yes.
are in mathematics. And so for a lot of students, math seems to be a hard or difficult subject, right, to grasp. And so how did you kind of settle on math as your major? What was that process like?
Well, honestly, leaving high school, I was a chemical engineering major. I was going to do chemical engineering. I did really well in chemistry at my high school, and we even had an engineering class. So I took engineering all throughout high school as well. And I thought I was going to be a chemical engineer until I went to college and I started taking those beginning chemistry classes. It was really the labs. The labs were way harder for me to grasp. The physical concept of like what was going on in the lab.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
so I had to sit down and think with myself, like, okay, So where do I need to go from here? Because it was my sophomore year, and I said, I can't change any later than now. I need to figure out if this is what I'm going to continue to do or if I'm going to change my major. And so I actually realized I've always been good at math. The reason I was good at chemistry is because I could calculate the formulas in chemistry. That's what made me good at chemistry. And so I said, well, let me just go back to basics and be a math major. And I changed my major to math, and it's been going really, really good so far. I'm excelling in everything that I am doing, and I have really close connections with all of my professors and people in the math department, and they have set me up with connections with different math conferences. So I've been presenting research, math research at different conferences. I'm presenting at a conference very, very soon. So
Wow.
it's just
Okay.
really finding what you're good at and doing that, literally just doing what you're good at.
That's amazing. So I have a very similar experience. So when I was at Albany State University, when I was in high school, I wanted to be a forensic scientist, right? And so I was very interested in anatomy. That's what got me interested in it. But then when I got to college, I realized how much chemistry was involved in it, right? So I did not take chemistry in high school. So my first time taking chemistry was college chemistry, and it kicked my butt, right? So so much so that I came home one year and I went to Clayton State University so that I could take the second half of my chemistry that I had to take. And I failed that class. So that is the one class I took at Clayton State. I failed that class. So to this day, I am on academic probation at Clayton State University, right? But it was an experience for me, right? So I was a transient student for that one summer semester. So that made me say, you know what? Maybe forensic science isn't the best for me. Criminal justice is kind of the route that I went. Graduated, found out I loved education. So this is going to be a common thing for a lot of students in understanding kind of what they want, what they think they want to do, and what, to your point, what they're good at, right? And what their passions, where the passions lie, is very important to have a good understanding for that. So that's good. I'm glad you said that. So tell me, you're a college student. What have you learned about yourself in college? What is some things that you kind of found out about you?
Well, college is definitely a time to learn about yourself because you will be on your own. You may have your family behind you, but you are there to make your own decisions. No one is waking you up in the morning and forcing you to go to class, forcing you to do your work, forcing you to pay attention. You can go to a party every single day of the week if you want to. So it's really about time management and time management, managing yourself. So I did learn that I have to definitely be more open to new ideas and new experiences. I like to stay in my bubble when I was in high school. I didn't really venture outside of what I was comfortable with doing. I've had the same three friends my whole entire life. And so, going to college and none of my friends were in my same college, I was scared that I wasn't going to make any friends. But I actually tried out for the cheer team, Morehouse College cheerleading, and I made the team. And making the team kind of forced me to make friends because you're on a team with 16 other girls and you're spending a lot of time together in practices. And of course, you're going to form those bonds and make those connections. And I definitely made some friends out of that experience. Being in college, they forced me to participate in activities definitely during freshman week. And you
Okay.
get to see, okay, I like participating in these activities. I like going to, these concerts that they're giving us for free. I
Okay.
like, going to the caf with these girls and eating lunch with them every day. And so you're gaining these new experiences, meeting new people and finding new things you like. I took a bunch of morning classes in the beginning. And, that sounds a little difficult. It sounds very
Yeah.
difficult. You're like, why do I want to wake up early in the morning? But I realized that was something that I needed. I needed that structure. It was good for me personally to wake up in the morning and, okay, yeah, I can start my day by going to class and having this structure in my life. And so college is definitely an experience to learn about how you operate in how you can be a better person and new experiences for yourself. Definitely.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I laugh because you said you were taking morning classes. One thing that I kind of tell students is, really pay attention to your body. Find out, when you're the most focused, right? So for me, I'm more focused in the afternoon. It just happens to be like that. I will tinker around and do whatever in the morning, but then when the afternoon comes, I'm like really on it, and that's the time for me to get a lot of things done. However, being a student athlete, like I was, like you are, that kind of dictates when you can and cannot take classes. And so it's really good. It's so funny to hear you say that about the morning classes. So that was interesting to me. All right, so I got one more question for you. And I'm going to ask this to all the students who kind of participate in this student's perspective. What advice, right? So we want to be able to share information, shorten the learning curve for students who are coming behind you. But what advice would you give current high school students who are preparing for college? Because you've been through it, you're a couple steps ahead of them. What advice would you give them about their process?
Okay, yeah. I would love to tell those students that you're going to college or you're doing whatever future you see for yourself. It's for you. It's not for anyone else. It's not for your mother, your father. It's not for your friends. It's not for your partner. It's for yourself. So when you're picking a college, I know you might want to be with your friends, but don't just go to a college because all your friends will be there. You think it's fun because the campus looks cute. Make sure that you're going to this college and pursuing what you want to pursue because it's for you. It'll take you to where you want to be in life. That's really it. You can't do anything for anyone else. You can only do it for yourself. And you don't want to make a mistake because your friends, you want to be with your friends. You want to make sure that you are living your life and you're going to strong. You're going to go to a good college. You're going to get a good education and you're going to be exactly who you want to be in the future. So, yeah.
That's perfect. That's in line with what I talk with students about, and finding a college that fits them and finding a college that matches them, right? So you want to be at that intersection of fit, the college that you're selecting a college based on what you want your college experience to be. At the same time, that other street is match, right? You want to be able to select a college based on your academic profile and the admissions requirements and the rigors of the courses that are going to be at that college, right? So that's the intersection you want to be at. So to hear you say that is right on point with what we need to tell students and parents. So I really appreciate you spending this time with me and being our first student for this student perspective. And I'm very excited about it. Thank you so much. If you like what you hear and you want to learn more, you can subscribe to this podcast. And you can follow me on my social media platforms at College Readiness 101 on Instagram and Facebook. And you can visit my website at College Readiness 101. Thank you again, Megan. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.